So we're moving now to Zahid Hussain. Zahid is a member of a community advisory panel. I think you advised the museum, I think. You're involved in that, is that correct? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, and on top of that, you are the social enterprise community development person and also interested in issues to do with capacity building. And more recently, you've published your book, Community Kurima. So I invite you to actually make your intervention.
Thank you very much. I'd really begin by saying, and I would challenge you, do you really think that bricks and mortar, that systems, that pieces of paper, that meetings can be racist? Absolutely not. Museums can't be racist. If anybody or anything is racist, it's us, it's people. And the reason I make this point is quite simple. It's actually a principle. And I know that you can argue about institutional racism, but ultimately it comes down to individuals. It's somebody somewhere who's being racist, not the system. And the reason I kind of underline that again is this. As soon as you say it's the system, it's apart from you. It's separated from you. It's not you any longer. And I don't like to do that. I like to go directly to where the issue is. The issue is with people. It's not with bricks and mortar. It's not with museums at all. It's not with the stuff which is out there. I think Sam talked about the process. That's the bit we're interested in. The actual product, whether it's a spear or it's a piece of porcelain, it doesn't matter. The people who are making the decisions and so on, they're the ones, if we can claim as racist, they're the ones. I would bring you back to right now, the fact that we're here, that we're talking about these issues. Do you think this could have happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago? I think that's absolute proof, it's evidence of the fact that although there may be imperfections in our society, at least we can challenge the status quo. And I agree with your point, that should be up on a wall somewhere from what you've just said. But the fact that we can challenge that, we can say that and it can be recorded, I think that's a great thing. And of course, unless we keep on challenging, we aren't going to get the changes that we want. And it may be that it's another generation, or 2 generations, or 3 generations, but we have to keep on challenging, that's our responsibility. Now, I must say that I'm not an academic, and part of my issue with academia sometimes, I know that the museum is part of the University of Manchester, and there may be some students here as well, is that I think that analysis usually leads to paralysis. I find that people who research, just research, they talk about it. It's like people will talk about not racism, but the symptoms of racism. Racism is humane. Racism isn't what is on the actual, in the exhibition. It's the feelings that we have inside, the hatred, the palpable feelings. That is the racism that I'm interested in. I'm not interested in the symptoms. The question I want to ask myself, and not whether museums are racist, is this. How can we enforce and implement greater equality and inculcate positive participation in museums? Okay, it's a kind of a wordy thing, but I want to know, how can we change things? How can we ensure that there is equality? I mean, today we might be talking about, say, the black community, but there may be a future community coming from Eastern Europe, I don't know, the Roma, that may be facing greater inequalities. Are we then to say that we need to focus on that? No, the focus should always be on equality, irrespective of where somebody comes from. The final point I'd make is about the Community Advisory Panel. Despite issues with the Community Advisory Panel, it's probably the only one of the kind in the country, which is amazing. And yet, it hasn't been able to fully implement the things that it's wanted to do because of, let's say, imperfections with people. But did we stop? Did we give up? I like the fact that Frank came back. That even though he was unhappy, he came back and he fought for justice. Because it is a great injustice, and he's right, it is about the children, and unless we keep on challenging and coming back, even though we're uncomfortable with being here, because the truth is, most of the people in this room are white. That's the honest truth. However, are we to blame you for being here? No! But it's just something that needs to be raised as an issue, that there need to be more people from ethnic backgrounds coming to these sorts of sessions. That may be an issue not to do with the museum at all, that may be to do with the wider communication issues with Manchester City Council, for instance. I don't know. I don't know the answer. But what we should be doing is challenging, and we're here to challenge, and I fear that others may not challenge us back. Because it's not for you to just listen to us and accept. That's not the point of it. It's not for us just to be angry and for you to listen. The point is that dialogue. The point is that we could be totally wrong. I don't personally believe that I am wrong, but I am willing to listen to somebody who totally disagrees with me. So if you have it in you, I would urge you to ask questions. Thank you very much.